2015. We just finished a work session on facilities management for the sale of properties and the acquiring of properties. And we will start our meeting today with a thank you for everyone who attends. Appreciate staff and guests who come and take the time to be part of our committee meetings, and thank you those at home who might be watching. So with that, we will go to public comment. Is there any public that has any comment this morning? Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment. That brings us to the consent agenda. Is there a movement to pass the consent agenda? So moved and supported. Anything that has to be pulled? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. That brings us to item number 3. Wayman?
Yes, this is a request to recommend to the Board of Commissioners to approve the sale of 511, 519, and 525 Monroe Avenue Northwest to the City of Grand Rapids for $3.3 million. Number 2, to approve the sale of 520 Monroe Avenue Northwest to Michigan State University for $1.65 million. And 3, to approve the acquisition of 601/617 Ottawa Avenue Northwest from Grand Rapids for $1.332 million. And 4, create the 520 Monroe replacement project in the CIP fund and appropriate $1.65 million to the CIP fund for the project. And 5, authorize the board chair or designate to execute all agreements and other documents required to effectuate the above property transactions following approval as to form by corporate counsel. In April 2015, the City of Grand Rapids submitted a grant to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund to acquire 3.67 acres of land on the west side of Monroe Avenue Northwest, owned by the county, MSU, and the city through its Parking Services Fund to develop a riverfront park. In 2016, grant funding of up to 75% of an estimated purchase price of $10 million was awarded, subject to appraisal. The City of Grand Rapids agreed to pay the remaining 25% match. The terms of the grant require that the documents be completed by the end of March 2018 and the transactions closed by April 30th, 2018. The county's parcels, 511, 519, and 525 Monroe, totaled 1.285 acres and were appraised at $3.3 million. As a condition of releasing its parcels to the Riverfront project, MSU requested the county sell property located at 520 Monroe Avenue Northwest to Michigan State University, which is adjacent to property owned by MSU on the east side of Monroe Avenue Northwest. The 520 Monroe site is currently used as a parking lot. MSU would allow the county to continue to use the property as it does now for up to 4 years. To replace the county's 520 Monroe site, the city has made available property at 601 and 617 Ottawa Avenue Northwest. The city will also participate in the operation of the site, including providing county parkers certain services made available at other lots owned or managed by the city. Prior to closing, formal agreements and closing documents will be finalized in accordance with the term sheet. Corporate counsel will review and approve as to form all documents prior to execution.
Okay, is there a motion to approve? So moved. Is there support?
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Questions, comments, and discussion? Commissioner Brady.
Before we vote, I just need to disclose that my husband works for Michigan State University, the College of Human Medicine, but he didn't have any part in the negotiation.
Okay. Commissioner Maury?
Since we're buying property at the committee level, it doesn't require a 2/3 vote, right?
Correct.
Okay, at the board level, it requires a
Correct.
2/3. Got it.
Already checked that. Commissioner Bukowski?
Yeah, I mean, my main thing is to focus on the end of this. In spite of some of our misgivings on, and this is like way out in the weeds that we as commissioners probably don't need to care about, but just what will eventually happen in the park and the cost of maintenance and how the city does all that. I do believe it is going to be an enhancement to downtown. I am, as Mary noted in the work session, I am part of the River for All committee with my day job hat on at Disability Advocates. And at least at one time, this spot was codenamed the Heart of the Rapids. And so it will be, right there in the rapids. So, I trust the city and DGRI, and we as a county are part of that partnership to make that park happen. So that part is cool. As I noted in the work session, the word that, the third bullet point that MSU requested that we do this, it was a little more than a request by our friends at MSU. As much as, we requested that the city replace it. So, I mean, it's a nice way to say, it was a hard bargaining, and we're happy I think we're happy where we're at, and hopeful that at some level, I don't know if we have to pay for that assemblage audit or appraisal, if it's worth it or not, but somehow knowing that if we were going to sell this on the open market, we could probably get more than 3.3 million. I don't know. But deals were made with the city to make this happen, and again, I'm supportive of that direction, the commitments we made, and I thank staff for requesting on our behalf good replacement property from the city, and
That's great.
we'll leave it at that.
Commissioner
I
Morgan.
just I'm in rare agreement with Commissioner Volkowski.
Okay, well, might as well make a note of that. Takes care of the one we need for 2018, okay? Commissioner Hennessy, do you have a comment?
No, I think Commissioner Volkowski just put that very well in terms of, framing some of the issues around this, and I am supportive of the resolution.
And I wanted to take a minute to add that there is some other dominoes that have yet to fall. So if this goes through finance, it then goes to our board. But in between that, Mary, can you take a minute and explain the timeline of what happens on the city's end? Because we also are waiting on, is it a variance or a special use? We're waiting on a special use from the city for the parking lot, is that correct?
Yes, a special land use approval to be able to have the surface parking lot at the county replacement property. So the timeline this action is on, everybody's board has to approve it contingent on everybody else's board. So the MSU board approved moving forward on Friday. Our finance committee is looking at it today, and the city commission will take action on this today, as well as a full commission. Then the special land use approval will be reviewed by the City Planning Commission on March 8th, and this would come to our board for full approval on March 8th.
Does it go to our board before the special land use then?
Yes, our action would be contingent, and this is in the term sheet and resolution, is contingent on receiving that.
Okay. All right, any other questions, comments, or discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. That brings us to miscellaneous. Is there any commissioner miscellaneous this morning? Okay, seeing none, we are adjourned. Next meeting date is March 6th, 2018 at 8:30. Thank you.